On April 1st of 2012, the Moge-ko, one not very famous artist from Japan, would release her first video game ever. It will be called the Moge-ko Castle, about a girl whom actually accidentally woke up in train and instead realizing that she was another station that was near her apartment, it was actually near the castle. And that game initially was not popular outside of Japan, even though the translation of the original version on traditional Chinese and possibly Mandarin Chinese exists. I won't be surprised if there will be even Korean version of it. In 2012, on December 27th, she released another game, The Great Garden, which features updated graphics, but the story is about demons and angels that try to live peace together. Not a very popular game. Nor the third latest game to date, the Wadanohara and the Great Blue Sea, now considered to be one of the most famous ones in Okegom community, was released on December of 21st of 2013. And in 2014, all those games were translated by VG Person, and the community started to rise. The Okegom Wiki was established during the same time, and it's kind of overseen by Funa herself. And the Okegom Wiki is pretty much the one who managed the fandom. But after 2014, it seems like the Okegom has been stagnating. There have been no fully new games. Sure, you may say, but wasn't there a Moge-ko Castle remake? What about Ice Cream? Yes, that's an unfinished game, which pretty much consists of the pieces that do not stick up with each other. And Funa, and like there's no websites for it to download normally. And Funa has yet to combine them into several pieces. And she made the Opposite Dream comic, which was really cool, better than The Catcher in the Rye. And then she promised to make 3 games, and that was during the same time when she released Wadanohara. They were The Carnival Rhythm, The Great Adventure of General Hershansky, or Moge-ko Castle 2, and The End of the Wonderland. Pretty much those games could have been completed from 2015 to 2018. Sure, some people may say, well, it's very hard to make video games. The problem is, though, those games are made in RPG Maker, which is not that hard to use. And plus, she all made games by herself. Some people may say, well, making games by yourself was really hard. Sure, maybe making games in yourself using a 3D engine, but not the RPG Maker. Even kids can use RPG Maker. But for some reason, a decade has passed and we've got no future updates regarding the Carnival Rhythm. Sure, maybe something on CN, you know that website where Funa usually posts updates on her stuff, and a lot of Okegom fans and the wiki admins and staff use it. But nothing really much regarding the Carnival Rhythm. Instead, Funa decides to continue to release those insipid comics like the Seaside Dispatches, which is basically a yaoi manga about Satanic and Ivlis, 2 very popular characters among the Okegom fandom. And that's a really waste of potential. Because if Funa only focused herself on creating new games and expanding the universe with really interesting characters that are yet to be explored, if only she had focused much more on bringing the, how would I call this? Bringing the quality to the fandom, there would be a big potential that Okegom could have been one of the coolest series. But the thing is, it didn't become so. And I was surprised that the Undertale, which is kind of like another RPG game that's built now on Game Maker, has only 2 games and it managed to be very popular. And to this day, the fandom is still so loud. Cannot say the same thing about the Okegom, which is very sad. It's upsetting the fact that Funa really made those weird guidelines. Like, for example, one of her guidelines says that you cannot use the Okegom in commercial uses when, in fact, she allowed one of the comic studios to make Wadanohara comic, and she sells merch, which is those stupid chains that you usually put in your backpack, which is really weird. Like, haven't seen anyone wearing those. Some people may say, well, you're an Okegom hater and that stuff. No, I'm not really an Okegom hater. And I wouldn't really say myself as a fan. Initially, when I found out about it, I thought it would have a lot of potential. And if only potential was extended, we might have seen a lot of cool things happen to it. If only Funa was allowing for more professionals to develop the Okegom, we could have seen live action adaptation of it. No, not anime, because anime is still obscure and usually the young people like anime. But if it was live action film, a lot of people would notice how cool the series was. And if only Funa decided to make the characters more smarter and don't be too sexually degenerate. By that I mean make the villains instead of violators, make them people that really you want to understand, that you really want to ask why they became like the villains. Instead of Funa's creativity, probably was influenced by hentai so much that she decided to make them those villains, the violators, which is really disgusting. And I bet the Funa's influence, the influence that she got from childhood, which is a possibility, was the reason why we've seen villains like this, like Sakasan or Satanic. One really calls Satanic a good guy, now would I? And the Okegom Wiki, I feel like it's a mafia. You know why? They're sitting here since 2014. They're the controllers of the largest server of the Okegom Wiki. And pretty much a lot of people support them. And I guess they are probably the reasons why many people are afraid to complain about the Okegom. And they haven't even tried to make an alternative. Probably thinking, oh, maybe everything is the best, but I don't know how the Okegom alternative should be. Probably because there was some people that tried to make alternative, like Pio Hato, he tried to make the Nubula-mancers, which looked like a cool project. But then the Okegom fans, or I guess the Okegom Wiki staff, decided to attack him because the art style was too similar to Funimation. And so, he's gone. His wiki is gone. And the Nubula-mancers project, I think, is probably cancelled, which is sad. Some people may say maybe he was a groomer. That could be a possibility. But I don't know. Or the time when Okegom Wiki admins decided to go immature and decided to attack one of the servers for leaking Funimation stuff. And I think Funimation deserved to get her stuff to get leaked. Just like the Rockstar Games, because they're both exploiting their own fans and fandoms with the insipid stuff. The Rockstar Games made the soulless GTA Online updates and events, which were boring. And the Funimation makes those Saturn-less comics for the Okegom fans. Yet fans, unlike they actually done barely nothing for a change. Because they're afraid that the Okegom Wiki might control them. They might be afraid of getting attacked by the Okegom Wiki. And the admins they're pretty similar to the admins that you'll probably see on the Hololive fandom or Has Been Hotel fandom. Both are 20 to 30-year-old people. Some of them probably may have jobs at McDonald's or insurance office, but not much. And they probably imagine themselves as sort of bouncers wearing black glasses. Wearing those dark glasses, those dark suits with the ties, and walking around Funimation like some sort of bouncers, like some sort of bodyguards of presidents, when in fact they're nothing but man-children, infantile man-children that really need to get a life. And hopefully the Okegom will get an alternative that's better than it. And I'm already thinking about making an alternative to it. What it could be? A game series? A film series? Maybe novels? I don't know. But I really want to make an Okegom alternative that a lot of ex-Okegom fans can enjoy and can develop and help me. Because I want the best for the former Okegom fans. Maybe that could be an announcement that I will probably leave the Okegom community. I thought I will be in this community for as long as I was in Olympic Masters community, which was 6 years. But this could change. Again, thank you everyone for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.